What's up? Oh,
Hello.
I don't even have my lights turned on.
Oh man, see, I got my lights turned on.
There we
They're
go.
right here in my face. Happy, I don't even know what day it is. Is it Thursday already?
It is Thursday already, sir.
So tomorrow is Fancy Friday, so we're gonna wear tuxes.
Probably not.
Well, everybody that
Although-
watches this channel, they know that Fridays are, for friends, and friends watch Crypto Nightly together.
That's right. They do. It's
Mhm.
it has been said.
It has been said. All right, so how's your day going? How are things? What's going on?
I was going all right. Showed one of the guys how to do undercabs today. Got to watch him crawl inside a pantry and try and figure out how to do the overhead. That was entertaining. But
That's funny.
other than that, it's been good.
My mom asked me if I could change out like a ceiling light. And I
Three
was
wire
like,
nuts. It's only 3 wire nuts, bro.
yeah. And I was like, yeah, that I can do. And then she was like, I don't know. You said that with a lot of confidence. I said, yeah, it's different. Here in the United States, most of the time, everything is one way. So, like, when you're doing the electrical stuff, it's only one way. Everything is colored the same. You can look things up. If you have questions, you can get the answers. Now, once you go outside, it's all different all the time. So you're always guessing. It's not one red wire and one other wire. You know what I mean? It's not just positive and negative. You don't just know that this is the ground and this is the hot wire, But here you do. So
So most countries around the world run on 220, 240, while we run on 110, 120. Does Honduras, do you know the voltage? Do you guys use 220 or do you use
220 and 120. It's the same in that sense. Yeah.
it's the same?
Yep. In that sense,
Okay.
it's the same. But like I will say like the outlets and things, they're not as straightforward all the
Well,
time.
they kind of have to be, bro.
Uh,
You have a hot side and a neutral side. That's how electricity works, bro. You
well, I
can't.
mean, I know, but I mean, you don't have like the I don't know. I try to do some things. It's just different. When I'm over there, I'm like, you know what? If that guy says he can do it, he can do it. What's up, J Coco? How are we doing? But when I'm
What's up,
here in
Jay
my house,
Coco?
you know what I mean? I'm not going to catch my own house on fire. And yeah, wire nuts, electrical tape, I'm good,
Yeah, unless the light explodes.
No, light's not
I've
going to
seen
explode.
LEDs explode because the rougghers wired the house wrong,
Yeah,
and
well,
they ran 220 to the ceiling, and when my guys got done installing the LEDs and they get down to check the circuit, flip the switch on, and boom,
damn.
nice big old black scorch mark going across the ceiling.
See, and then you got to repaint, don't you?
Oh yeah, you got to repaint for sure, but it's not our fault. Now, not only do they have to fix that, but they had to, buy new lights from us too.
Sheesh.
We're not, you know.
Well, today is Thursday. Tomorrow, Friday. In case anybody wants to get coffee at Starbucks, Forest Drive, Annapolis, Maryland, I will be there from 5 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. So if you're a normal person and you drink coffee before 5 in the afternoon, come by and see me. I'll be there all day long. You won't miss me.
And
You don't have an opportunity to miss me.
and today being Thursday, it's Throwback Thursday, as in we threw back all the gains we made last night.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The tariff talks just keep getting crazier, to be honest. And it's
Right.
crazy because like sometimes it's kind of like oh, there was a really great meme. It was kind of like everything is just on fire when people talk about tariffs. And then when people don't talk about tariffs, everything is fine.
Right.
So,
Right.
definitely want to see what the market's doing. Let's reset the room and let's do a little market update, and then we'll hop straight into everything, because I don't know how to say this, but I'm tired. And the
That's
market
what happens.
happy or exciting. Like it doesn't feel happy or exciting. The sentiment is so poor right now. And
Right.
I mean, everybody's worried about what's going on. I think there's just so much fear and uncertainty. I mean, I can't remember what it was. They were saying like how bad the regular TradFi stock market is down. And
Oh, it dumped again today. Japan's dumping right now. I'll tell you what, ever since I made that conscious decision at the beginning of the week to not trade anymore, just don't trade. Just making the decision, my stress levels have dropped. I'm sure my blood pressure has dropped. Just could not even worried about it. Not picking up my phone every 5 minutes, because when you make a trade, you got to stay on top of it. I'm not one of those set it and forget it type of guys. I'm watching the phone. I'm watching the phone. I'm watching the phone. I'm getting distracted. I'm this, I'm that. Ever since I made that conscious decision, my stress has just like dropped dramatically. So buy and hold, people. Buy and hold.
buy and
Trading
hold
is supposed,
DCA.
yeah, good old DCA. In my opinion, trading is supposed to be fun. And when it goes from being fun to being stressful, then it's no longer. You know what I mean? It's no longer for me. It's not like I have the ability or the stack to be a full-time trader, because that would be different. But no, I have to work at IRL job like most people. Trading is in a way fun. Yes.
It's definitely fun.
Yeah.
Evening Fozzie. Oh,
Oh,
in no
in no
way
way
fun.
fun. Trading
Okay,
is
okay.
in no way fun.
Not right now. Not right now.
Not right
Especially.
now. No, not right now. It's not. But it
It's
should
gonna
be
be fun
fun.
when everything is going up, and then you just buy the tops, and then it keeps going up, and that's always fun until you
Right.
keep buying the tops, and it keeps going up until it doesn't.
Right. Just like last night. That's why I told everybody, don't be long in the top. We're going back down. And well, we definitely went back down, but we'll get to that later in the show.
All right, so let's reset the room and let's get on into it.
So everybody, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tap that notification bell. If you are on X, tag some DGens, give us a repost. We go live Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. PST, bringing you that daily news nightly. I almost forgot my cue. I was waiting for you to present something. Then I realized, no, it's you, dummy. You're supposed to be presenting something. So, all right, let's get a refresh. So we were up 5.5% yesterday. Well, we're down 5.2% today. And we're coming in at $2.611 trillion. Decent volume, actually. I mean, it's low volume. It's not bull market volume, but it is higher than we've seen the past couple of weeks, coming in at 116. We have Bitcoin dominance at 60.2, Ethereum at 7.0, and apparently it's free to send an ETH transaction right now. So coming in, Bitcoin coming back at 79,134, down almost 4% on the day. Ethereum at 1513, down almost 8% on the day. XRP back under $2, down 3.7. BNB at 576, down 0.2. And Solana at 112, down 4.4. Doge at 1539, down 2.7. Tron at 2347, down 1.6. And Cardano at 6079, down 2.3. At least it looks like Cardano has a solid hold on the top 10, because we're about 7 billion ahead of Lido staked Ether, Wrap Bitcoin, Leo token. So, but let's check out SWI. SWI fell back out of the top 20, being displaced by Shiba Inu. coming in at 210, down 4.2%. Our biggest gainers on the day, Curve Dow. That's weird. It's usually not in the gainers, but it's up 10.4. Render's up 6.2. Gold is up 4%. Tokenized exchange up 3.2. Tau up 2.5, and just a few gainers after that. Kind of surprised to even see this many gainers the way the market's been today. So biggest losers, EOS continuing to fall, down almost 12%. Story IP down almost 9%. Rocket Pool ETH down 8.1%. Wrapped ETH. Wow, that's it, huh? ETH is a big, so we got to get past all these ETH. All right, then we get to Aave down 7.3, Maker down 6.8, Tunkan down 6.4, Ondo down 6. So we got a lot of losers, not very many gainers. Let's take a look at TradFi. Let's refresh. First, let's look at Asia. So Japan coming in hot, down 5%, erasing everything from yesterday. We got the Australian index down 2.23, and I am curious to see what's going to happen when India and China open up here. But let's go today in the U.S. The Dow gave back 1,000 points. The S&P gave back 188, and NASDAQ gave back 737. The VIX went up, so we dropped 35% yesterday, and we're back up another 21% today. And the Russell K down 4.2. Pre-market. Pre-market is looking just as bad. The Dow down 1.2 or 1.1, S&P down 1.2, the NASDAQ down 1.5, oil down 0.2, but we got the 10-year going up about 4.6%. So, yeah, not looking good. And tomorrow being a Friday, low volume, low liquidity. Oh, damn it. John, why don't you tell me I'm not sharing a screen?
I didn't even know we were there yet. I thought you were just giving commentary on what the market was like.
No, man, I can't believe I messed that up again. We'll just go through them real quick. So there's Asia. There's what the U.S. dropped today. And there is pre-market. I got to get used to this switching tabs in the middle of my thing. So, but that is the state of the market currently. Let's see what the headlines are.
All right. So finally, I got them over here. So we'll be sharing these in just a moment. But
is that why this is in private chat? This is for you?
Yes.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and get a word from our sponsors and make sure that everybody is liked, subscribed, reposted, and shared this with a friend. If everybody were to share this with one person, we'd have twice as many people. It's just mathematically proven. So let's go check it out. And we can't wait to see you guys in Las Vegas. It's going to be a blast. Join us at Rare Evo, the top blockchain conference, August 6th through 10th, 2025, at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. The top blockchain projects like Algorand, Midnight, HBAR, ICP, Thorchain, and Igon, and many more are going to be there. This is definitely a must for blockchain enthusiasts and fans. Use discount code CryptoNightly to save on your tickets and to support the channel. Don't miss it. We can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a blast. All right. So there we go. It still feels wrong. I don't know. I don't know what
because you're on a different computer and it's not the aspect ratio of this computer is not what we normally use.
Dang. Well, anyway, so what we got here is ChatGPT gets total recall. So OpenAI's new AI model remembers your whole chat history now. So this is super cool because you're going to be able to continue the conversation back and forth forever and never have to remind it of previous conversations. I think that all of the AIs are starting to get this good. I think we're so close to the AI companion that we see in all the futuristic movies, right? Where you have like the person and then they have like their Wally or their, whatever, their different AIs that there is their like life companion. I think we're getting close to that. And for these kinds of systems, it's the perfect use case for blockchain. You want to have your data individualized, and you want to have control over it. And so instead of having your information and giving it all to Sam Altman, I think in the future, this is where that marriage between AI and improving our lives, along with blockchain, are going to come in. I'm super excited about this. I think that it's going to be exciting for sure. I mean, what do you think about that, Desert? You're basically creating your perfect assistant, the person that understands and knows everything you've ever talked about.
I like it. I mean, that's cool. I don't trust giving that much. How do I say this? So companies like Facebook knows when you poop. It can tell like when you go to the bathroom because of your habits throughout the days. It can tell like if you just did this, you're more likely to do that. So it's kind of inevitable, right? But I didn't give that information to Facebook. They took it. Why am I going to give that information to Sam Altman?
Yeah, I get you.
I do like AI. I think AI assistant, that would be awesome. It just makes me nervous to give all your because you're not just giving them your biometrics. You're giving them everything. You're giving them your personality, the things you
You're
like.
giving your bowel movement schedule.
Right. Well,
no, I'm saying that like literally, it would have every information about you. Your likes, your dislikes, your dreams and hopes, right? The places that you've thought about traveling but haven't traveled to.
Yeah. I like my data thieves to have to work for their money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all them and all these. Every time you click onto a website, it's all, do you accept the cookies? Would you like to customize them? Well, I probably would like to customize them, but I have no idea what you're talking about and how to do it. So here, I'll just click all, accept all.
Yep.
So
100%. 100%. And then we got this. Jack Dorsey's block gets fined $40 million for alleged crypto compliance AML failures. And so the New York Department of Financial Services determined that Cash App was in violation of the consumer protection laws and failed to monitor high-risk BTC transactions. And, he doesn't care.
It couldn't have happened to a better guy, but I don't even agree with the premise. Monitoring, first of all, what's high risk? Second of all, monitoring people's transactions. So I don't even believe in the premise of the violation.
Yeah.
But, Jack Dorsey can sit on it. As far as I'm concerned.
sit on it and spin. No, but 100%. This isn't a surprise. And I think that we're going to start seeing this kind of, I guess, attack. I feel like it's an attack on certain Bitcoin maxis because they do have this belief of like freedom of your money, libertarian beliefs. But the system and the man, right? The man or woman, it's a part of the system. They don't care about that. They want everything to be their way or the highway. And that's why we're in crypto, because we believe that there are better systems. There's a better way that things can be done. And that's exciting to us.
And New York is the strongest. New York has the strongest crypto laws. You know what I mean? You got to have a bit license. I mean, that's what happened to Charlie Shrem.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was about the same thing. AML laws and high risk Bitcoin transactions and this and that. What he got busted for.
Yeah, and I
So,
believe that they probably threw in like people were using mixers and things at that time, so they were probably
right,
saying it was money laundering, even though the only
right,
reason you do that is actually for like true privacy, right? Not
right.
really necessarily to obfuscate like legal taxes and sanctions, but um if it's your money, I believe you should be able to use it however you feel like.
Right.
Right? I don't think somebody can tell me that I can't spend my money on, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever I want, right? I
Or
think that's a
say
crazy thing.
say I want to send money. Say I want to send somebody $20,000 in
Mhm.
Bitcoin, right? Well, they don't need to know that I have another million sitting in that Bitcoin wallet. And it's not like I can just take the 20,000 out, put it in another wallet and send it to them, because then they just track it back to the origin wallet, you know. So a mixer, I mean, I don't know if they had mixers back then,
Mhm.
but I agree with that. That's another thing. I don't even believe in the premise of the whole violation and AML's violation of AML laws and this and that when it comes to mixers. I think mixers should be legal.
Yeah, it's for our own privacy. I think
Right.
that uh yeah, I think that they're trying to push a CBDC on us. I think we'll get there eventually. I just think that they're trying to do it slowly and then suddenly.
Right.
Um,
I
to be honest, but it is what it
well,
is. So we were looking at the market. We saw how bloody it was. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna say I agree with the
Good.
CBDC. I think it'll come in the guise of some. I see, like, off the top of my head, I see two ways of CBDCs coming around. A, what we've talked about before, where there'll be some kind of stimmy check, and it'll be like, hey, we're giving out $1,500 to everybody. All you got to do is download this app and accept this digital payment. And then you can use this app through non-contact or tap to pay at any store. And guess what? This app is refillable. So it's kind of like a prepaid credit card. You can just add to it from your bank account, and then you got it right there. Tap to Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Google Pay, right there. Tap to pay. And we'll get it integrated like that. Or they'll adopt something like USDC and then just bulldog Circle and Goldman Sachs for C's and frees and all that good stuff.
See, but yeah, and the bulldogging, I don't think it's gonna happen. They're gonna be like, "Hey, you guys like money, right?"
Right,
And
right,
they're gonna be like, "Yeah, yeah, we like money. What do you mean? We're money guys." They're gonna be
right,
like, "Well, you want to make more money?" They're gonna be, "Yeah. What do we gotta
right,
do?" They're gonna be like, "Just turn a blind eye to this thing," and they're gonna be like, "We don't even know what you're talking about.
right.
Here's my bank account number." That's that's gonna be the whole conversation. I don't think there's gonna be much resistance there. But I wanted to touch in on this. So like Sam Bankman-Fried ends up in Victimville, one of the most violent prisons in California. The fallen founder of the FTX exchange has been incarcerated at the brutal Victorville Medium Security Facility in Victorville, California. Look at that bald head. I think you could stick something to the top of that, you know?
Or something to the
Um,
back of it.
true. True. So the Federal Bureau of Prisons has moved Sam Bankman-Fried to Southern California's prison, known for its brutality. The fallen founder of the FTX exchange has been incarcerated at a medium security prison facility in Victorville, California, about 2 hours northeast of Los Angeles as of Wednesday, according to the BOP inmate locator. Sam Bankman-Fried was sentenced to 25 years in November for defrauding users in what was considered one of the most significant U.S. financial crimes in the country's nearly 250-year history. The transfer comes after Bankman-Fried spent 2 weeks at an Oklahoma transfer center. He spent more than 18 months in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. That's where he was with Diddy, a federal prison consultant, Christopher blah, 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 last month, and the medium security prison where inmates with longer sentences land tend to offer lower quality of life and higher risks of violence.
Yeah.
Zuki said the West Coast prisons tend to be a lot harder. So if we thought Sam Bankman-Fried's time with Diddy was hard, his time in this California prison is going to be much harder. Yeah. So there we go. The other thing is this. This is the last thing we got here today. Wait, is it sharing? Can you see
No,
it?
your screen went blank.
I hit the wrong button, but I saw it on the other screen that I didn't show. So I was like, ugh. But Spot
There we go.
Bitcoin ETF sees 772 million in outflows as investors prepare for tariff-driven inflation. Rising outflows from the Spot Bitcoin ETF reflect investors' worries that higher inflation could follow the recent implemented U.S. tariffs on multiple countries. Boom. So here we go. That was it. I looked into this article a little bit more. They just restate the same thing a whole bunch of times. Shout out to Cointelegraph, always giving the information and then giving it again and then giving it again and then repackaging it and giving it again. So there we are. That's what we got. Just wanted to
I
touch
thought
on
you
a
had an
couple
article
of
on the DeFi, the IRS DeFi broker law.
I did, but that didn't transfer whenever I went from one computer to the other. I mean, it should have. You're right. It should have transferred. But so basically, Trump signed a resolution that pretty much gets rid of the DeFi broker law. So now we don't have to worry about DeFi being considered a broker. And that was a huge thing because decentralized finance allows people opportunities, financial opportunities, and access to different kinds of financial services that they might not have access to in the regular markets. And so through DeFi, it is a way people can get financial freedom. And what they wanted to do was create a rule so that every decentralized financial platform had to report basically to the IRS and like keep information on all of the users, which is impossible. You can't have a vending machine be held accountable for the people that use the vending machine, right? You can't have
If
a
it's truly
centralized.
decentralized, there's no way to do that.
Yeah, it's like there's a website that does a bunch of cool things. All of a sudden, you're gonna force the website to do something. You can't. So that's what they were trying to do. They were basically trying to make DeFi illegal. And now, thanks to the resolution, we don't have to worry about that.
That's good. That's good. At least he's doing something besides tanking the market.
Just wait until tomorrow he talks about tariffs again. I'm sure it's going to do the same. Because he seems to not want to stop talking about it.
Yeah, but so nothing has really changed between yesterday and today. And yet the market still tanked.
Yeah. But it tanks every time he says tariffs. Every time.
Right.
Oh, and he just doesn't want to stop talking about it. And I feel like because the market is reacting negatively, it makes him want to talk about it more until it reacts positively, and it's just not. I think that he's trying to like tell everybody, hey, like, this is good. This is going to be great. We're going to be so excited about it. And everybody's like, no, stop. But that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it makes sense. And so the article you brought up about the ETF outflow, 772 million, that's just another reason why I dislike ETFs. Because with it's so easy and the market is already so volatile that they just allow them to dump. There should be a what do you call it?
A lockup,
Like
like a mandatory hold.
price to pay, a price to pay to get in. You know what I mean? I think it's too easy to go on your Acorn app or your freaking Robinhood account or your, you know, there should be like a, I don't know. I'm against accredited investors also, but I do think there should be some kind of like questionnaire, you know what I mean? At least knowing the risks and this and that and understanding what you're trading, you know. It don't have to be a monetary thing like you got to have 500,000 in your bank account or you got to make 250,000 a year or something like that, but there should be something. Who thought it was a good idea to, right?
See, that's what Desert's been saying for a very long time now.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
You know what I mean? It's supposed to be, crypto is supposed to be finance 2.0, and crypto has merged with TradFi, turning it into TradFi 2.0.
Yeah, 100%. But on that note, let's reset the room and we'll have everybody. If you're here, if you're paying attention, hit us with a comment. Let us know that you're interested or paying attention to what we're talking about. Ask us any questions you might have. If there's anything you'd like to talk about that you haven't heard from us yet, let us know. We love and appreciate all of you. And with that, we're going to transition into the TA portion.
Introducing the relaunch of JPEG Boss Mint, a game changer in the NFT world. This isn't just another mint, it's a community-governed project where you hold the power. Here's the deal. 50% of all mint funds fuel a community investment wallet controlled by boss holders like you, driving collective growth. The proceeds, 60%, go straight back to active participants, rewarding your engagement. 20% powers overhead and expansion. And the final 20% flows to JPEG Empire until the seed funding's repaid. Join the revolution, mint with purpose, govern the future, and reap the rewards. All right. So we talked about this a little bit last night, and I was talking about don't long the top. We pumped too hard. We're going to get a pullback. It's not sustainable. And lo and behold, this is today's candle. Boom. We dropped 3.68% on the daily. I mean, the Stokes are still going up. Where is the rest of my indicators? Oh, you know what? I never saved it. When I got rid of Market Cipher and everything yesterday, I never saved the indicator package I had put up there. Boom. So let's save this real quick. Let's get rid of some of these. Okay, there we go. But as you can see on the daily, the Stokes are still moving to the upside. So there is still some positive movement to the upside. The RSI has turned, and it looks like today it started to go up. You know, it bottomed right now today and then started to go back up. But as you can see, this is kind of what I'm talking about right here. Let's go to the hour. Let's bring this up. And what I was talking about, how the ETFs and everything allow people to quickly dump and everything like that. Well, this candle right here was the biggest move, right? So this candle is a 3.11% candle to the downside. And if you see that, that says 8 o'clock. That's 8 o'clock on the West Coast. So that's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. That's an hour and a half after the market opened. You can see we tried to get the market opened, you know, halfway through this candle right here. We got the dump. We tried to recover to get back over the 200 on the hourly, and then people just gave up and it dumped again. And now we're starting to roll over, right? Looks like we're getting a little bit of a pump right now, but I think that is just Asia trying to put in some exit liquidity. because the Stokes have turned and started going back to the upside. But I expect this to dump even further tomorrow when the market opens. There's nothing that tells me we're going back to the upside. Nothing. Even we come down to the lower time frames. Let's see. So yeah, right here, look. This is the 30-minute. What's that say? 6:30 a.m. and that's the East Coast. So that is the moment the stock market opened, right there, that candle. And it was a 1% dump. So it took a 1% dump in 30 minutes at the moment the stock market opened. So to say that TradFi, whoever, people, oh, well, Bitcoin and TradFi, they're not correlated. Well, that candle and everything we've seen, goes totally against all those statements, right? Just like these pumps, boom, boom. As soon as Trump said something, we pumped, boom. And then we started to cool off, right? Boom, right here. And then right there, that green candle right there, that's after the market closed. So you can see the market closed. So we pumped real quick, and then we started to bleed. This is the flag we were talking about last night, and how I said it had an upside of like 85 or something like that, but I didn't think it was going to go up. It was going to go down. And sure enough, it went down. And on the 30-minute, we're battling the 200. So I am still seeing more downside. Let's look at the weekly. So here's the weekly. We're actually putting in a green week, even with all this tariff talk and the volatility we've had the past couple of days. We are still putting in a green week, about plus 1.8, but it's still a downtrend. We're still in this. We're still in this falling wedge. And this thing could just bounce around here and keep going down, hit this zone right here that we keep talking about, between 73 and 67. What is it? Yeah, 73 and 68 right here. So we definitely have to break the uptrend. We have to regain these SR levels. And let's see here. Yeah, the RSI is in bearish territory. You can see back here at the beginning of March, we started to pump. Mid-March, we hit our head on the 50 mark, and then we dumped again. One silver lining is that the Stokes are really oversold. So the Stokes are way down here. We actually bottomed out at 0. Like it couldn't even go any lower, right? I mean, it can go negative, but it actually came all the way down to 0. And it started to pump up, right? And then boom, the end of March, right when the tariffs went into effect, we started to go back down. So I'm expecting this ain't just going to turn and move. I'm expecting something like this, maybe hit the 0 line again and then start to bounce up, right? But that's going to take some weeks. Look, we're looking at May 5th. We might not bottom out till the beginning of May. And I'm telling you, these are the times to DCA. Next week, because the market's been like this, me and John were talking earlier. Next week, we're going to start going over. We're going to look at the charts of the top 100, and we're gonna work our way down through the top 100. And I'm gonna hit every chart and see where we are. It's gonna have to be quick, but I'm gonna try and hit every chart to see where we are on a macro sense. How far down from the local high, how far down from all-time high. And we're going to break that down through the top 100 next week. Hopefully we can get it done in a week. But so let's go down. Let's look at SWE real quick. SWE gave back everything that it had yesterday. Well, I guess not quite everything, because we came from the depths. We came from $1.89 and shot back up. But we did dump. We dumped right down to support at 208. And then now we're trying to get a little bounce right here, right on the daily. Stokes are moving to the upside. Your RSI is still below the 50, but it is above the moving average right here. So this is the 14-day moving average. It is above the moving average, but we are still below the 50. So we're still in that bearish territory. I would say with these Stokes moving to the upside like this, we could see maybe a little pump this weekend. But once again, this is not a pump, does not mean we're back by any means. It does not mean we're back. Let's go down to the lower time frames. Let's see here. So I don't see any kind of divs or anything like that. I mean, I guess you could say we have, a divergence right here on the Stokes, but that's not something that I would really put a lot of weight into. It would have to be more like the RSI would have to be something on a divergence. So 208 did hold, or well, kind of. We broke below it and then we broke back above it, and we're fighting the 50 right now. I mean, we could see, what's that? It looks like the Stokes are switching again. So they are starting to turn back to the upside. We could see the 4-hour run up to about 219. Could take several, not several days, I guess, but several bars before we get back up there. And I still think we're going to dump when TradFi opens again tomorrow. Let's come down to Cardano. Cardano probably gave back the least, because we're almost, we shot up to 64 and we're at 61.6 right now. We got the 3 white soldiers on the 4-hour. That's looking good, but it's in the same boat as SWE. Once again, you got this bullish div, you got everything turned up, and we're working our way up. I don't think we're going to be able to make it all the way back to 72 cents. I think we have too many. Let's get some more data on here. Let's see where the volume is. So the end of this volume spike, it is at about 62, and the bottom is at about 68, 69. Not to mention 70 cents is probably going to be a psychological level. So everything is in limbo. Everything is falling down. We've fallen, Cardano. So this is just from December. From the top of December, we're down 50%. So that means we need 100% pump just to get back to where we were 4 months ago, 5 months ago. So I just don't think the market has any strength. I do see a lot of good buys. Definitely Cardano is a good buy at 61. XRP under $2. Seems like a good buy, but once again, you guys know my opinion about the narrative. I don't really believe the narrative. It is staying above. It did stay above the daily. The XRP is definitely showing more strength than Bitcoin or anything else, because Bitcoin's not above the daily 200. XRP has been able to stay above the daily 200, and it's been able to stay above this 189 right here. This, this high volume node, it's been able to stay above that. So if we lose that, if we lose it, kind of like we did here, we wicked all the way down to 160, which is the top of this wick right here, as a matter of fact. If we lose that with any kind of gusto, we're easily coming back down to 147. But I do think XRP has a little more strength than a lot of these other coins. I mean, they have to be, right? XRP Army is like extremely resilient to be able to stick with everything they've been sticking with over these past years. So let's see here. Boom. And I think we're just going to keep following this channel. We're either going to come back up, retest about 223, then maybe bounce back down, but we would have to break. So this trend line intersects right here on the 16th. So this coming Wednesday, it intersects right here at 223. And it's going to be interesting to see if we do pump up and we hit that, what happens at that intersect. I'm going to say we're probably going to dump back down, but we could break through that, and that would be breaking the trend and the support level. So, in my opinion, just keep your eyes on the market, everybody. Get your high conviction plays, do some DCAing. Tomorrow, I've already kind of made a game plan. Probably going to buy 50 in SWE, and then I'm thinking 25 in ADA and maybe 25 in Algo, because Algo is just down so much. So this is December. This is last December, right? And from the tip to where it's at, it's actually down more than Cardano. It's down about 72%. And we just DCA'd 100 into Algo when it was at like 20 cents. So we're definitely down. So I'll probably put 25 in Algo, 25 in ADA, and 50 into SWE. Kind of want to pick up Solana, but I'm just not it's not that Solana is not going to make money, because it's definitely down over 50% from its local high, which happened to be its all-time high. Where are we at? It's down about 62%. So you're definitely going to make money with Solana, not to mention ChatGPT and Grok said they would buy Solana. I'm just not a Solana fan. So,
I'm not a Solana fan. Yeah.
So there's too many other coins. There's too many other tokens or coins to invest in that I like, than to invest in Solana, So
100%. 100%. But I mean, that's what we got. That's what we got. Happy Thursday. If it's a thirsty Thursday for you, have a drink for us. I got to get to bed and wake up in just a handful of hours and do it all over again. 5 to 5 tomorrow, guys. So come by. Forest Drive. Starbucks. I'll give you some. If anybody actually came by, I'd give you some coffee. I'll give you some coffee. Right. Now, if like 5 or 6 people come by, they're gonna fire me.
New Eternal. So, have you updated your Eternal wallet?
I haven't yet, but you said that you did on accident.
Yay or nay? No, it forces you to. It forces you to when you go in. So the UI looks cleaner. I haven't really messed around with it enough. It's kind of weird because I have like 6 or 7 wallets on there. And it's kind of weird when you click on it and then it pops up and then you got to favorite the wallet and it puts it into a drop down, and then you can switch between the different wallets, right? Yeah, it didn't give me a choice. It just popped up, Eternal V2 or something like that. And so I kind of like the old Eternal because all your wallets were just listed right there on the side and you can just click on them.
Ozzy's in the trenches with
it. You have 17 wallets. Damn, bro. Those 6 wallets, not even all of them are mine.
Yeah. I have about 5. I have about 5. I have about 5 myself.
That's funny. Some of those are the project wallets, some are other wallets, and some are mine. That's funny. 17. Damn. But yeah. No, I did not have to put in a seed phrase.
Yeah, if you put in a seed phrase, you got all your fun stolen, Posy.
Yeah.
It's over.
Because the extension, we already have the extension on the computer. So it was just an update. That's what I thought too. When it popped up, I was like, MFer, I'm going to have to freaking dig out my seed phrases. I'm going to have to re-input everything. But then it just kind of, populated everything. The UI looks cool. Don't get me wrong. It looks, what is the old UI is just so plain and just so, mobile, seamless, laptop, all new. Okay. Yeah, I don't use Eternal on mobile. I'm straight Vesper on mobile. But so mobile seamless. So I don't know, but I'll experiment around with it, probably get a feel for it. It's just I'm not big, the lace wallet looks good too, but I don't really play around with it enough. I don't do enough transactions or play around with stuff enough.
Yeah, and I hate change, I will say. So
You had to put your seed phrase in all of them? Mobile did, laptop had to put all seeds in. Wow. Yeah, I didn't have to do that. I didn't ask. I had it on I have it on 2 computers, and I don't have to do that on any of my computers.
What's up, Crypto King? We're about to wrap up,
What's
but
up?
shout out to a legend here. And
you're late, son.
If you're not early, you're late. No, but
all
we appreciate
17.
you guys.
Damn, Fozzie, consolidate some of them wallets.
Yeah, get like a couple of new wallets and consolidate to those new wallets. Because man,
yeah.
You probably spent a whole shift, like a whole work shift, finding those seed phrases and putting them in. You'd mess up a letter every so often, have to go back, figure out which one it was that you messed up. Man. Yeah. No, but big love to you guys. Everybody have a great day. Like I said, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We come to you live Monday through Friday, bringing you the daily news nightly. And thank you guys. We appreciate the support. The market is down, but our spirits are up. So
that's right.
You're in the right
place. Go touch grass.
Go touch grass. Go roll it up. Smoke some. Peace.
Introducing the relaunch of JPEG Boss Mint, a game changer in the NFT world. This isn't just another mint. It's a community-governed project where you hold the power. Here's the deal. 50% of all mint funds fuel a community investment wallet controlled by boss holders like you, driving collective growth. The proceeds, 60%, go straight back to active participants, rewarding your engagement. 20% powers overhead and expansion. And the final 20% flows to JPEG Empire until the seed funding's repaid. Join the revolution, mint with purpose, govern the future, and reap the rewards.